I'm not going to be able to share the screen. I don't know how to do it. But we'll just get into it. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the chat. Hello, hello. So we are going to be learning how to protect ourselves with witchcraft. We'll go over witchcraft basics first. Then I will kind of tell you my top herbs that I like to use. We'll go over the oils that I like to use, crystals and incense. I pretty much have my full little setup here. I'll probably turn on the camera so you guys can see. I'll show you how to do a spell jar at the end of it, but we definitely need to know basics first. I don't know how far or if any of you are into witchcraft, but I will kind of go over very briefly the basics. All right, so witchcraft obviously is craft. History of witchcraft remains unbound by any specific religious affiliations. It serves homage to personal empowerment. Modern witchcraft is something that a lot are into nowadays, where there's pretty much no judgments how you do your witchcraft. It's however you feel like you want to, as long as you have ethics. Let me see. So for modern witchcraft, usually practitioners have the freedom to forge their own spiritual journey, crafting rituals and beliefs that align with their innermost convictions. It is essential to underscore the importance of thorough research and ethical practice, along with the empowering in this journey, ensuring that the magic remains respectful, responsible. There obviously is baneful magic. I will not teach you about that because I don't do that. However, if you want more research on that, I'm pretty sure you can find it on Google. Basics of witchcraft, it's energy manipulation, intuitive awareness, intention, focus, visualizing, having the confidence, and knowing the big four. Big four would be cleansing, charging, banishing, and warding. And we'll get into each of those, how to cleanse properly, how to charge, how to banish, and ward as well. How the magic works. It revolves around the artful manipulation of energy. Everything is energy. As long as you set your intention, you're able to become a master manifester with practice. We do work with, you can work with ancestors, you can work with your higher self, you can work with deities, you can work with angels. Pretty much you can work with whomever you'd like, as long as you do research and you're connected with them, because it's all about connecting and understanding the ethics of this with them, okay? There are covens. Covens represents a community of witches who come together. I am a solitary witch. I work by myself. If you are interested in joining a coven, I'm pretty sure you can research local covens near you, or even find some online. It's just where you have multiple people in a group setting practicing witchcraft. Solitary witchcraft, it's a solitary path, pretty much for those who find solace in working alone. Embracing the independent practice provides the opportunity to have a deep self-reflection and a profound understanding of beliefs on this self-discovery journey. I like working on my own. I feel like I work best on my own. However, covens are also fun and nice and a good idea to get into as well if you don't know lots about witchcraft. Just make sure that the coven you choose always aligns with your spiritual path and resonates with your values. We'll go over a couple types of witches. There's the Green Witch. The Green Witch is deeply connected to Earth, Earth, incorporating plants and nature into their magical practice. You have the Crystal Witch, and the Crystal Witch is attune to vibrations of rocks and crystals, incorporating them as a central element in their craft. You have the traditional witch. Traditional witch practices magic in alignment with ancestral methods. You have elemental witch. The elemental witch engages with the four elements in their magic, often feeling a strong connection to a specific element. You have a cosmic witch. Cosmic witch possesses knowledge of space and astrology, shaping their magic based on the timing of celestial events. You have kitchen witch. The kitchen witch primarily practices magic in the kitchen, employing food and comfort as vehicles for their magical workings. You have Grey Witch. The Grey Witch engages in both benevolent and baneful magic, often practicing with a focus on justice and balance. You have Hedge Witch. Hedge Witch communicates with the spiritual realm by jumping the hedge into the other realms. Sea Witch. The Sea Witch is deeply connected to water and the sea, drawing upon their energy and utilizing oceanic tools in their practice. You have Hereditary Witch, which is somebody who's born into a family of witches, drawing upon familial traditions and knowledge in their practice, and electic witches that don't adhere to a specific tradition, but instead shapes their practice by incorporating elements from various cultures and beliefs. I consider myself to be an eclectic. I am slightly a gray, not fully gray, because I don't like doing baneful magic, but I will if I had to protect myself. Does anybody have any questions regarding types of witches so far? And I'm going over this because this is the basics. You kind of want to know what you're doing, what kind of witch you are to start practicing witchcraft. So basics are very important before even getting into practicing. How did I find out what kind of witch I am? Through research. I had a mentor actually when I first started my journey 2.5 years ago. He was the one that kind of read me and told me that I had a very strong bloodline of witches. However, I found that with the hereditary witch, I don't agree with certain things that my family have done, pretty much into Santeria, which is a Afro-Cuban religion, and I just don't resonate with that religion. I don't resonate with religion at all, so I don't consider myself to be hereditary, even though I do have family that were into that. Just doing research, studying, I figured I was an eclectic, which I don't like to go by tradition. I pretty much create my own way, my own path, incorporating different things from different beliefs. So it's just I discovered by practicing, by learning, researching, reading. Grey Witch, I've dabbled into that as well. I feel like I'm not somebody who's all light. I feel like I have a very strong dark side to me as well, but I don't tap into the darkest. So I go in between. If I have to protect myself specifically, I won't do anything to harm others. You went with what you felt like you, yes, 100%. You have to always go by what you feel is true to yourself. And that comes with practicing, that comes with doing things, learning, doing things that you normally wouldn't, just to see if it's something that you can resonate with. And if it's not, then you move on until you can discover which one you. Kitchen witch, I do like to mess with the kitchen too. I use a lot of herbs. But if I had to put myself into like another one category, would be eclectic, because that's kind of a mix of everything. As far as ethics for magic, this is everything I'm telling you, by the way, is my personal belief, my personal opinions. You can definitely do more research to find your own path. But as far as ethics for magic, I do not mess with free will. I tell everybody I redirect energy. My intentions are not to force somebody to do something they're not meant to do or they don't want to do. That has backfired on me prior. and I've learned the hard way. Is there a love witch to help spread more love amongst the world? Sure. You could be a love witch, a love doctor. But yeah, I don't mess with free will. I don't do obsession spells. I do love, but I redirect the energy for love. So I say if it's there, we're just going to kind of nudge it, push it to redirect it towards the person. However, if this is not something that's healthy, I do not force it. And I have that communication set with my spirit team, those who I work with when I do craft. And that's one thing that you guys want to make sure you research, you learn. Again, it's okay, no judgment if you want to do baneful magic and stuff like that, but me personally, I don't do that, especially for other people. If I had to do something negative, it would only be to send back, if somebody were to send something my way. What kind of witch would it be if you love nature, plants, animals, and living things? Probably a green witch. A green witch is the witch that's connected to earth, incorporating plants and stuff like that. And obviously, animals would be part of that as well. So probably a green witch. So do more research regarding green witch and see if that's something that you resonate with. Do you have a book of shadows? I do have a book of shadows. I haven't used it in a while because it's pretty potent. However, it is cool to have one. I've noticed that when I would write in my book of shadows, especially when I would write my custom spells and set that powerful intention, it was working and it was working pretty quickly. But I wasn't guided in the right direction back then when I had it, so I was doing things I shouldn't have, which had backfired. So I put it away because I got a little spooked. However, I am bringing it back because I've done a lot more research on my own. Do you have a wand? I've always thought those are cool. I don't have a wand, but I've seen them and they're super cute. But I don't. Do you work with blood magic? Yes, I do. I love it. It's very potent, it's very strong. Anytime you put your DNA into the work, you're just amplifying it. So whether you put a piece of your nail, if you bite off your nail, or a strand of your hair, or a drop of your blood, then that just amplifies the work. So I do it. Yes, I have a few wands. Wands are super cute. However, for me personally, it's a little more on the girly side, and I'm not very feminine, so I feel like me waving out a wand would be kind of not me, not for me. But they are cute. They are cute. But anyways, ethics with magic. Please don't mess with free will. Um, no good will come from it. Honestly, no good will come from it. And I'm speaking from experience, and I can show pictures and tell you guys a bunch of stories, a bunch of negative things that's happened to not only me but my significant other because of trying to mess with free will. All right. So as far as witchcraft, if you do like witchcraft, if you want to dabble into it, you don't have to, but altars are a nice space to have for those who you're working with, whether it's your spirit team, ancestors, angels, deities. Having like a little setup for them does show that you are grateful for them assisting you, and then maybe you can give them offerings and stuff like that. Can you break down free will? Free will, pretty much going against so if you're forcing something, free will, I think everybody has free will to choose to decide what they want to do, be in life. And if you go against that and try to force something upon somebody, I think that's negative and messes with that free will. That makes sense. Yeah. And again, some people do it. I just choose not to. From personal experience, I'm not allowed to mess with free will. So altars, it's good to have a little altar, a little space. It can literally be something on your dresser, a little area. It can be a whole table that's separate for them. It can be shelves, whatever you can do to set up a little sacred space. Altars are very nice. It shows that connection, that relationship that you have with the person that you're asking for when you're doing witchcraft. And if you're just working with your higher self, you still want to give gratitude to your higher self as well. So setting something like that up does show that you appreciate it. In the altar, you can have representations of four elements. You can have crystals, you can have a bowl of water, a cup of water, you can have incense feathers, maybe have a candle there. You have any crow friends? Oh my goodness. Yes, I do actually, and I love my crow friends. That is definitely my spirit animal. I used to see them all the time in my front yard, and they've worked their way to my backyard. There's two specifically I see all the time. Super, super huge. If I could have them as a pet, I would. I love them. Um, but I can't. My hubby would kill me. But yeah, as far as I love crows. Altars, something to represent the elements, candles, altar cloth, divination tools if you want to, offerings. Offerings can literally be just water if you don't want to do anything crazy. Offerings can be water, it can be flowers, it can be snacks, it can be food. And then incense or sage. Sage is good for cleansing, clearing. We'll get more into that later. As far as energy work, when you're working with witchcraft, everything is always done and set with intentions. It's not going to work if you don't put the energy into it, if you don't have the intention for it. Um, I got ahead of myself in the beginning of my practice and I started getting feedback quickly, and I got so excited that I kind of kept it quick, and I was, making all these spell jars for people, and I kind of lost that connection where I would just sit and manifest and set the intention over every jar, every work that I would do. So I noticed eventually I started feeling like a disconnection with my spirit team, and I realized eventually it was because I was missing that connection, that intention. So anytime that you're doing any type of energy work, witchcraft, you want to really just sit with whatever it is you're doing, whether you're lighting a candle, whether you're praying, whether you're doing a spell jar, making a potion, working with your cauldron. You want to always take a second once you're done, or during, to set that intention of whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Make sure that you're grounded anytime that you want to do any work. Your energy has to be grounded so that you're connecting correctly. If you're not grounded, if you can't focus and you're trying to work for somebody else, then that energy is chaotic. It's probably not going to work. You're going to have issues with the craft. And you're just going to feel all over the place. So definitely always ground your energy, connect with earth, light up some incense, cleanse yourself, do your breath work, maybe go on a nature walk, meditate. Definitely meditate. Anytime that I am gonna get on live, I go on live and I do my candle work. I give myself about 5 minutes, nothing too crazy, before I get on live, to set the intention to clear and ground my energy and protect my energy. Anytime that I'm gonna work, I do light a white candle or black candle, to set that intention that I'm gonna be doing energy work and I don't want any outside energy interference or entities. So ground yourself, cleanse your energy before you're working with candles or jars or potions or whatever it is that you're doing. Mm, Let me skip those. Okay, so we're done with the woodcraft basics, because there's also dream work, but we're not going to get into that because we're trying to focus on protection. So I'm going to give you guys a list of herbs that I like to use. I there's so many herbs for protection. It can get pretty hectic, pretty crazy. You guys are going to want to do research and, again, choose the herbs that you resonate with. I will tell you my top 10 protection herbs specifically that are good for protection, for getting rid of any negativity, and for clearing. It's a good mix of all three. You guys probably all know salt. Salt is the main one for protection. I use that in every single work that I do, whether it's jars, candles, whatever it is that I'm doing, I use salt. Salt as a base to protect the work that we're doing so that nothing can interfere with the work itself, and to protect myself and the person that I'm working with. So, salt is definitely my number one. Number two would be Devil's Claw. I absolutely love Devil's Claw. Devil's Claw is very good for banishing. It's for protection, to ward off any negative energy. It gets rid of curses, hexes, spells, specifically witchcraft that's either put on you or being sent your way. Rosemary is an all-purpose as well. Rosemary is very good for protection too. We have sage. Sage is good for protection. Clove. Basil's an all-purpose, but also very good for protection. Garlic. Juniper. I use thyme as well, and vervain. Vervain is also one of my favorites. If I had to pick top three, it would be Devil's Claw salt and vervain. However, I pretty much mix and match. I use a few different herbs whenever I'm doing jars. Let me say vervain. Yeah, I love vervain. I mix and match. I don't put all of these herbs into one jar or into a candle. I just go with what I feel like I want to use for that specific person. And that's also with tapping into their energy, tapping into the connection, the spirits, that you're working with, because it's all connection at the end of the day. As far as candle magic, I'll tap into candle magic for protection. So you guys can have a couple options, whether it's candles, jars, or oils that you want to use. Candle, obviously, black would be my number one for protection. However, white is also an all-purpose. You can use white for protection if you don't have black. As far as black candles go, you can get pillar candles. You can get the 7-day candles. They have 14-day candles. You can get chime candles. Any black candle, tea light candles, any black candle will work as long as, again, you set that intention. As far as working with candles, you can add oils, you can add herbs, you can add whatever it is that you're wanting as well that matches with the protection, the manifestation of protection. Peppermint is a really good oil to use to dress your candles for protection specifically. Angelica and pennyroyal. Those are my top three oils for protection. And usually you'd want to dress your candle in oil and go ahead and carve your intentions, put your full name, your date of birth anytime that you're working. If you're working for somebody else, make sure you have their full name, date of birth. Some people use initials as well. But I like doing full names. Full names, date of birth, dress the candle with oils. Again, Angelica, pennyroyal, and peppermint are my top three. Angelica, pennyroyal, and peppermint. There are a lot of other oils, but those are my favorite. I actually make my own oils as well, and I've done a lot of research on oils and herbs to mix it. Same with crystals. And every time I do a protection for somebody, it's like they feel it instantly. The next day, I get feedback with these oils specifically. So Angelica, pennyroyal, peppermint. You're gonna go ahead and dress the candle, carve the information, your intention, and then you can let it burn depending on what kind of candle you have. If it's tea light, you can go ahead and put a little note inside the bottom of the tea light candle. If it's a chime candle, you're going to want to put it in like a bowl of salt or something like that. But black candles are amazing. You can get black tea light candles on Amazon. It's all about your intention though. I would highly recommend protecting yourself if you're obviously into anything metaphysical, once a month at least. If you're actually doing this for work, you need to protect yourself every day. You can light candles, maybe if you get the 7-day one, every week, every 2 weeks. It's very important. I wish I would have kept my candles so I can show you how black they burned because I skipped about 2 weeks and I had to do two protection candles, then a cleanse, and now I'm on my third protection just to clear the energy because I do this for work. So the more you do this for work, the more you play with energy, you want to protect yourself constantly. I protect myself every single day by wearing jewelry. I wear the evil eye. I have an evil eye ring. I have rings dedicated to my deity. I have a witch's knot to protect me. It's a witch's knot ring to protect me from witchcraft, from anyone else trying to send it to me. And I light incense every single day. I light my candles every time I'm working. So for those of us who are readers, we really need to do a lot of cleansing and protection. 100%. Especially a reader, you're also picking up energies constantly by reading other people. You don't want their energy to linger around yours, and that's when you start getting sometimes you can get depressed, anxiety, you can get stressed, and most of the time it's not your energy. So you have to cleanse and you have to protect. Protecting is going to kind of create like a cloak for you so that you don't absorb or keep their energy. Thoughts on dragon's blood? I absolutely love dragon's blood. That's top three for my incense, which I was going to let you guys know. Sage, dragon's blood, and frankincense are my top three for incense sticks that I light all the time. I love dragon's blood. It's very good for protection. They have herbs as well. You can use for that if you want to use the herbs in your candles, but 100% dragon's blood I love. All right, so we tapped into candle magic real quick, and then oils. So you can make your own personal oils. Again, for protection, angelica, pennyroyal, peppermint. You can add herbs in it: rosemary, basil, sage. You can add crystals in your oils. Black tourmaline is good. That's one of my favorites. You can add labradorite. Labradorite is good for protection. Smoky quartz as well. It also helps with spiritual attacks. Myrrh is also a very good protection oil that you also can use to create your own blend of protection oil. And how you do that, you just get a small glass bottle. You're going to go ahead and pick your carrier oil, whether it's almond, olive oil, sunflower oil, jojoba oil. You get your carrier oil, you can mix with those essential oils that I told you and add some herbs in there, cleanse it before you start adding all your stuff, and then set that intention that that's going to be a protection oil, and then use it every day if you wanted to. Would you consider cord cutting as protection? Cord cutting, if you have an attachment to somebody, especially a toxic relationship, yes, that's a form of protection because you're releasing that attachment, so you're protecting your energy. But you also want to do protection after a cord cut because a cord cut doesn't necessarily protect. That's just releasing that attachment. And the dragon's blood ink is so powerful for writing petitions. Ooh, there you go. That's another thing you guys want to do is write your petitions down. You can get. I like using parchment paper. I like using a red pen. I need to get red pens, but me personally, it's just my thing. Parchment paper, red pen, you can use whatever it is that you want. Set that intention. You can literally just write it down, burn it in your cauldron. Type that as long as you set the intention that you're needing, asking for protection, you can do it any way that you want. And then we'll tap into spell jars. And then again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. So spell jars are jars that hold your intention, your spell, your manifestation. Could you give us an example of a candle, color, oil, and herb that we could use to cleanse after a reading? So let me see. Candle color, definitely white. Oil for cleansing. Have it in my notes. Specifically, for cleansing, lavender is good, frankincense is good, neroli is good. Those are my top three. Those are the ones that I use to make my cleanse oil. And amethyst crystal is very good if you need a crystal that you want to kind of just have near you to cleanse your energy. As far as herbs, cleansing, salt is also very good. Let's see. There's so many for cleansing. To dress your candle, like if you wanted to dress your candle and add all these herbs, you can use rosemary again. Rosemary is an all-purpose that can be for cleansing and protection. Clove provides protection. It's also cleansing as well. Again, vervain removes. Vervain is a good one to cleanse and protect. Vervain removes negativity and then adds a protection over you. Thyme is a good one. Thyme protects and purifies and cleanses you. There's a lot of different ones for cleansing, but literally just lighting a white candle and setting that intention that that white candle is going to cleanse your energy is really all you need as long as you have that intention. You don't even have to use anything. You can use You can use your own meditation to cleanse yourself. So just picturing when you're meditating, a huge ball of white light that's on your eighth chakra coming all the way down, seventh chakra, all the way down to the first. Oil of oregano is amazing. Oil, like, not only for protection, for cleansing, but health wise, oregano is amazing for you. Sorry, my computer died, but if everyone caught the recipe, for example, this show. So just white candles. White candles, lavender, rosemary is good for cleansing. Thyme is good. Um, Vervain cleanses and protects. But yeah, just envisioning a huge white ball on your eighth chakra, coming all the way down all your other chakras to cleanse your body is enough as long as you really envision, you visualize, and you set that intention. Also in the shower every night before I go to bed, I envision the water removing, cleansing my energy, my auric field. Just set that intention. You ask your spirit team to cleanse yourself, to help you cleanse in the shower, and envision that water just washing everything away and going down the drain. Mm-hmm. Oregano is very strong though in scent. I get the capsules. All right, so protection jar. Spell jars are pretty much a spell in a jar. I have different jars that I use. I have skinny long ones, I have short thick ones, I have different ones, and it can literally just and be any jar that you find to your liking. You just have to set that intention, cleanse the jar before you're gonna add your herbs and stuff in there. But what you'd want to do to create your own protection jar, you can create it and then charge it, as you go, as you feel like it's wearing off, and charge it every month if you'd like to. Under the full moon is good for releasing, removing. So I would go ahead and let it sit there, and then the new moon to recharge. So maybe twice a month, depending on when we have new and full moon. But for protection jars, you're going to want to have a small glass jar or large, up to you, with a tight lid, something where you can seal it. We're also going to add some wax on top to seal it after that, but you want to make sure that it can be sealed. You're going to want to have your salt. You're going to want to have your protective herbs, whatever herbs you choose. If you want to add crystals to have all the elements, you can add crystals. Black tourmaline, again, is my number one favorite. You want to have your piece of paper with your intentions, your petition, your oils, whichever oils that you're called to. You can do one, two, or whatever, however many oils you want to do. You're gonna add angelica or pennyroyal. Peppermint are my favorite. You can do frankincense or cedarwood as well. And then if you want to add charms, you're more than welcome to add charms for protection. If you like crosses, or if you like the triple moon goddess, or whatever it is that you want, you can go ahead and add charms. So what you do after you have all your ingredients is cleanse the jar first. Cleanse yourself, cleanse your energy, make sure you're grounded. You're going to go ahead and set the intention. You're clearing all the energy from the jar, from wherever you received it, to prepare it for your intentions. Again, you can use incense, sage, frankincense, or dragon's blood are my top three. Cleanse the jar and then go ahead and connect with it. Connect with whoever it is that you're working with. You're going to want to add the salt as a base. The salt is the first thing that I do put. Then you can go ahead and add your herbs. You can go ahead and add your crystals. You can go ahead and add your oils. I do add moon water as well. I like adding moon water to my jars. And then once you feel like you have all your ingredients in your jar, you're going to go ahead and seal it. Then you can get a black candle or black wax, depending on what your preference is, and seal all on the top of the jar. I like to add a pentacle around it. I seal it after that with a pentacle. I have a couple that I can probably show you. Let me grab it real quick. It's right here. I'm going to show you two different ones that I've made. And this one I've made specifically for my house. I have this in every room. I have it in my room, my kids' room. I have it in my living room, and I have it in my office here. Let me see if I can turn on this. Turn on the camera. Okay, can you guys see me? Looks kind of blurry. Let me. Okay. So this is one of the protection jars that I have that I made all around my house. This has pretty much everything I told you: salt, basil. It does have licorice root as well. Licorice root is good for strength. It has my petition in there. It does have gold flakes in here too. This is for luck, for strength as well. And then I sealed it with wax. And I have my little pentacle here that I sealed with, like, I have black twine as well, and I tied it. It's like an extra added protection. I do work with Hecate, so I feel like it's also a representation of her. I do have these charms as well. This represents her key, her broom, and her dagger. So I have these that I have all over my house for protection because of the work that I do. Then I have this little one that I put on my altar as well. This is with regular wax. So this is with a candle wax, and this is with the wax seal, like the ones that you use for mail. And then this is another little spell jar that I did. Same thing. I have to. I like to, at least for myself, I like to wrap it with a pentacle for extra added elements and protection. Pentacles are also good for protection. And then this is the regular, like, candle wax. I've had this for like 2 years already. It's super cute. And I keep that on my altar with Hecate. But yeah, you can get creative with it. Make it your own. Get whichever type of jar that you want. I do work with these other jars. I'll show you. These are the ones that I do on live for clients. These are 4-ounce jars. They're super pretty. I do release these into a river. There are some jars, for example, that you can keep around your house. You can bury it in your front yard if you want protection. You can put black tourmaline crystals on all your window seals or every corner of your house to seal to protect your house. Thoughts on railroad stakes and nails? I like them. I feel like it's also very good for protection. I know that there's some people who actually have them in their backyard, so I think they're very, very cool. But yeah, you guys can create your own jars however you want them. Be creative with it. This one specifically, I've asked Hecate to work with me to protect my whole house, my children, everything. And then I created this one for her altar. But with Santa Muerte too, I'll light a candle. So I have candles for Santa Muerte that I will light whenever I feel like I want her to step in. She's very good for protecting children as well. So it just comes to like preference and who you want to work with. If you don't want to work with any deity, you don't have to. You can just work with your ancestors. Still be creative with it. Use whatever charms that you want. If you like crosses, you can do cross. I also create like spell jar necklaces. You can make spell jar necklaces for protection. So you can always carry it with you. I have this one that I made. This one has my blood in it and my protection oil. I just have to make it into a neck. Like I have to get my necklace on. But it's super cute. You guys can, whatever your intentions are, when you're doing a spell jar, you can do it to your little vial and then wear it with you all the times as well. There's so many ways to protect yourself. I can talk all about railroad spikes for protection. Yeah, definitely get. I know of it, and I've heard of it, but I am not very educated with that. So that would definitely be cool to listen in on. Thoughts on blue water outside, brooms outside? Brooms is definitely something very traditional. I personally don't have the broom outside my front door because I do have my mother-in-law living in our efficiency. My husband there, she's religious, so I kind of have to kind of keep it to myself. I don't want to go overboard, but I do have a small, like the little ones that you hang,
because I was doing it
the small
with the
brooms.
prayer. And I think I was telling Tiff about it. I think Tiff know about the prayer that I did for Bishop. You remember that too?
Yeah, go ahead and
When I
ask
was in my
Ermi. That
house
would
by
be cool though
myself,
to know to
and the
learn about
prayer the
that.
Elder told me, you
But
can
yeah,
do it. You can
blue
just
water. I'm not
teach
very
me how to
educated
worship
on
with it.
that. I know
It was
indigo
so much
water
easier.
is blue
Okay,
water
point of
is good for
concept. Something
protection.
that was never
I just
for
don't
me to
know
do.
how you
And
would put that
I did
outside.
it while I was in
You
prayer.
could just leave it
So
there if
so
you
it won't
want.
drown.
Brooms
But I
outside,
had
I
like
agree
pouring
with though,
blood coming out of my nose, and I
and
was
they
like,
gotta be
as I
upside
thought
down.
about it, I was like, wait a minute, the girl from Stranger Things, when she taps in, blood comes out of her nose
But
too.
yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you. Unless you guys have
So
questions, you can go ahead and ask, and I'll see what I can let you
maybe
know.
that's like if you're pushing yourself or something. I don't know.
By the way, I got all these. I wanted to be organized, and I didn't want to do it all myself because my mind's everywhere. I got these on Etsy. So if you guys want more details, because there's so much in here, but I just wanted to cover protection. There's so much in here with all these other jars that you can do for health, for prosperity, for love. Etsy has all the info. Yes, on plants and a source, roses. Honestly, roses are number one for protection, and I dried my own roses and I gave it as an offering to Hecate.
Yeah, I definitely want
So I
to check
have
these
dried
out.
roses on her altar. Of course. Thank you guys for being here. So spell jars can be used for protection. I'm thinking of a spell jar for courage and risk taking. Would I put a little picture of myself in the jar and herbs that correspond with courage? You can 100% do it. Spell jars can be completely custom to however it is that you're feeling, however it is that you want. However, I would recommend setting one intention per jar. That way it's not chaotic. That way it's not all over the place. So if you want to do one jar for protection, do that. If you want to do another jar for your courage to take and to explore and stuff like that, you can do that. Putting a picture of yourself is always good. It amplifies it. And then you always just write your intentions. And then there's obviously herbs for confidence, oils for confidence and courage and strength. How do you dry them and not have them crumble? Because I try that and they do not hold together. Honestly, I buy roses for my altar and I feel so guilty throwing them out. So I place them in the back of my yard, all the way in the back where I have my tree where I feed the
It's
birds.
also called
I just put them there. I was like, I'll let nature take it. And then I got a download about 2 weeks later to give Hecate a dried rose. I'm like, oh shit, I think I still have it. So I went back to go check on it and it was perfectly dry. I'll show you too. It's super cute and it stayed put. So I pretty much just left it outside. Look how cute that is. It shriveled up, it got smaller. Well, these were the kind of small ones, anyways. But yeah, you just leave it outside for about 2 weeks, a week or two, check on it. And it shouldn't fall apart or anything. It should be good. Rose stems and thorns are also useful in spell work. Mm-hmm. Don't throw them out. Always reuse. Well, is that I have so much, like I can't reuse all of it. And I can't just hoard it. So I try to reuse everything. Let nature do the work exactly. So if not, I'll just put it. And I have a canal right next to my house. So there's a bunch of nice trees and stuff. And usually I'll just throw it there too. Is it okay to make a spell jar to help my family be stronger and come together? I was told my baby daddy would come back in fine timing, so would this be messing with his free will? No, you can redirect energy. It just depends on how you set that intention. You don't want to force anybody to be obsessed with you. You don't want to mess with that. If some people do it, it does work. If you really have that will, that drive, that strength. However, nothing good comes from it. It's not natural. You can definitely do something to help your family. Do like maybe a positive energy of reconnection, but don't ever do work on somebody without their consent, like specifically, unless it's for like a relationship to rekindle, because you're already in that energy. I got roses from my hubby. Let me go run and get white candles. Yeah, I found a rose of sharon tree in my new backyard. Bloom. I think I'm gonna try. Yes, they're getting old. I won't throw them out. Hmm. My problem is they with it first. Yeah, thank you for that. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, this is pretty much all the basics. It's not that hard. You just have to practice it, learn. And again, whenever doing any type of work, cleanse, ground, protect before you start. Yeah. How do I keep them from withering? Um, I don't know. I just keep them in the water, and when I see that they're getting yucky, I throw them out and then let them dry. If I go check on it, I have to make sure that it's dry to a certain point. I don't want it burnt, so you don't leave it for more than maybe in a week and a half, 2 weeks. Cleanse, ground, set intentions. Cleanse, ground, protect, then set your intentions. Yes. I always cleanse. I always ground my energy. I always have my black candle whenever I'm going on live. Before I go on live, I light it up. You always want to protect yourself. Cleanse as in incense. I light an incense. Calm my energy, ground myself, connect, light my protection. Also, Florida water is also very good. Yeah, just watch them when they're outside. After about a week, check on them. You might need maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. Florida water is awesome. I use this to mop my floors. I use this to put on me. It smells amazing, so that's a plus. But Florida water is also very good to protect your energy, and you can get that on in a Botanica or on Amazon. Oh my god, for real? Yeah, it's actually pretty hot over there, so just check on it. Maybe give it. I think you still need about 7 days, honestly. Yeah, you can make your own Florida water. I have made my own. However, it gets pretty messy, so I just buy it. Yeah, Florida water is awesome. It smells so good. And again, a trick, put it in your mop bucket. You're literally cleansing, protecting your whole house when you mop. Before mine gets to dry, tie them in stems and hang them to dry. They'll be brownish, but they won't hang over yet. I keep mine in a spray bottle too. Yeah, the spray bottles are nice. I did end up giving mine away, so I have this one. I like the spray ones though, because this one kind of gets messy sometimes. But the spray bottles are good. But it smells so good. Protection is very important though. Protection is very important. I will tell you one story real quick before I log off. Again, I had that mentor. Spit my hands and yeah, your hands, always the back of your neck, because that's where all that evil eyes negativity comes in. How do you create your own Florida? You're gonna want to Google that. You're gonna want to Google that. There's a lot of different ways to make it. You want to find what works best. Um, but like it has like cinnamon, it has orange peels in it. It has you want to put alcohol, obviously. There's different ingredients to make it. Or where do you purchase? You can purchase at a Botanica if you like going in person, or you can purchase on Amazon. Amazon has some. Yeah. But real quick, so protection, I'm going to tell you why it's so important. This is insane. When I first started this, I had a mentor. This is why I work by myself. I learned the hard way. I know I like working by myself, yet I needed some guidance, so I had him as a mentor. I found him on TikTok. Nice guy. However, we had a very big difference in frequency. He was into all this black magic stuff and good, but it was too much. Anyways, long story short, he rushed me to learn witchcraft. He rushed me to learn how to connect tarot, all this stuff. And I felt like I didn't understand properly the steps to do it, to cleanse, to protect, to set intentions. And I was just doing it. Again, he made me get my little book of shadows. I was writing, I was creating my own spells, I was creating my own sigils, not understanding I had to protect myself every single time, set the intention every single time. I ended up doing a job for him. It was a return to sender. I did a return to sender for him, and my intentions were not bad, right? I don't wish harm on anybody. I just said he was frustrating me so much. He's like, "You gotta help me. They're like this and this, and they're doing this to me." It was like a group of them. I was like, "Okay." So I did a return to sender, and it was a pretty intense spell that I created myself. Um, Pretty much to close their roads and to block access. All of them. There was a lot of them. And the main one specifically, I said, if she has sent negative stuff her way, send it back to her times 10. And that was my way of thinking, like, okay, I'm gonna be safe because I'm only sending back what she sent him. I'm not doing anything else. That's not true. Um, Anyways, that was a big mistake because she was a very experienced witch, very powerful, and I didn't know about. And shortly after, I got sick, and I was sick for 3 months straight, on and off. I couldn't work. I didn't have clients. Um, my tree died in the back where I feed my birds. It completely died. My husband woke up with a concussion. I was always telling him I wanted to put cameras in my room too. He woke up with a concussion. We had a hole in our wall. Didn't know how the heck that happened. Um, we both tried punching the wall. It was right above our bed frame, by the way. We didn't have a bed frame. We have the platform beds. So right above the mattress. Um, you can see the hole in them. Like we both tried punching it to see how hard you had to hit it to make a hole. We could not make a hole in the wall. He woke up, he was dizzy, he didn't know what the heck happened, ended up going to the doctor, he had a concussion. I'm like, holy shit. So everything was going bad. I was getting sick. My husband even took the hit. I was having crazy ass dreams. I ended up going to a psychic reader that I trusted. I was like, okay, can you please tell me what the heck is going on? It is super wild. That's why you have to protect, have ethics in the work that you do. Don't do negative stuff for anybody else because it will backfire on you. And long story short, she told me specifically with names that lady was very powerful. She comes from a very strong line of witches. She's very experienced. She was older in her 50s. And she knew that I was working with him because I was his student and he brought me on live sometimes. And she felt what I sent her. Unfortunately, something about her being pregnant, I don't know what happened, but it affected her. So she sent it back to both of us. She sent Artemis, I believe was Artemis, which is a Greek god. And I found out that my mentor, she told me my mentor, because the lady had sent it back to him too, he got so paranoid he thought that I was putting stuff on him, so he sent shit my way too. So both of them sent stuff my way, and I'm over here fucking newbie just learning all this shit, going by what he told me, and oh my god, it was horrible. So she told me, she's like, yeah, you have to do a full cleanse, you have to do a petition to Hecate. They know, she said, my spirit teams, they knew that I didn't do it with bad intentions, that I was just being misled, misguided. So it was an easy fix for me. After I did my petition, I had to light black candles for like 9 days, and it was crazy. I felt a complete shift, and I blocked him off everything. I have not worked with anybody like that ever since, and I've done all the research myself. My poor husband was freaking out. Hole in the wall. I have pictures and everything. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what happened, but both of you guys were sending back to each other. Yeah, it was like a back and forth. I'm like, oh my god. Glad I learned exactly. I'm glad I went through it because it really taught me a lot in the beginning of my journey, which helped tons. Because I can't imagine if I was still listening to this guy. I blocked him from everything, and he messaged me not that long ago saying, "Hey, long time. I wanted to recruit you for this thing that I'm doing. I'm like, how the hell? He made another page just to message me. I'm like, no, thank you. So I work by myself because I don't want to get into trouble. How did you get it off? I had to do a petition to my deity, which is Hecate. I had to light black candles. I had to give her offerings. I had to cleanse my whole home. I had to get rid of all my return to sender candles. I do have one here, but I'm not going to use it. It's just one that I've had for so long because I don't use it. I don't do return to senders anymore like that. What I do is I transmute it. It makes me stronger. I don't send it back. I just don't let it affect me anymore because I protect myself so much. They will also tie themselves to you so that whatever you do backfires. So you, yeah, I did everything. Yeah, cord cut. Yeah, I've done cord cuts. I've done everything. Protection, cleansing. I constantly have to cleanse myself, my house. I will instantly feel when the energy's off. If I go out for the day, I'm a homebody. If I go out, I can't talk to anybody. As soon as I get home, I have to go straight to the shower. Transmute it. Great. Yes. Transmute it. Don't send it back. Don't be petty. You don't want to deal with that mess. It's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. I know some people get into that mindset of they want to be powerful, they want to show their strength. That's how I was. I was like, cool, I want to see how strong I am. But no, it's not worth it. Especially if you have a family, you got kids. I was worried about my kids. I started protecting the shit out of my kids. I stopped posting them on my social media. I'm like, because if it got to my hubby who slept right next to me, I was like, if you would have, I don't know how he did that. He obviously something just slammed him into the fucking wall. It wasn't his fist, it was his head. While we were sleeping, I'm like, that's scary. What if he would have punched my face and like that was hard. I don't know what happened. But yeah, don't give into that. If you guys feel like you have any hexes, curses, spells on you, the more that you believe it, the more you're gonna feed into it, the more that you'll feel it. So if you feel like you have anything negative on you, take action and don't even think about it anymore. Just say, okay, I'm lighting a candle. I'm asking my spirit team to cleanse me, remove this, send it back. Don't send it back. Remove it, transmute it. I don't want it. Cleanse my energy. I'm not cursed. I'm not hexed. I'm not spelled. But if you guys are dwelling and you're like, oh, everything is bad. I feel like I'm cursed and nothing changes. And this, you guys are giving it more power. So just clear your energy, cleanse your energy, go to the beach, set the intention, ground yourself, light your white candle. You can do it yourself and then move on. Your mindset is very powerful. That's one of the main things you guys need to understand. That's why I say intention is very important too. Mindset is super powerful. You can bring yourself from the highest vibration to the lowest, if you know what I mean, in an instant. If you allow it to. So you have to work on that every day too, especially with doing witchcraft. Especially when doing spells, you have to have that mindset clear. I won't work. If I'm not feeling it that day, I will not work. Sometimes I try to push through because I have my set schedule and I'm like, I want to show face. But I'll get on live and instantly I'm like, hell no, this is not going to work because my mental is not there. Then I go shower, cleanse, sage my whole house. The next day I'm like, ooh, I needed that. Insane. You guys will feel it. You just have to be very aware. All right. If does anybody else have any questions before we are done here? Well, thank you. I didn't mind after a weekend of family. Yes. Very jubilant. Yes. You're welcome, guys. I'm glad I can give you some info.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
this is very
much.
intriguing.
Crystal, thank
And
you
there's
for
so much that
doing
goes into it. You guys, if you're interested in it, if it calls to you, I feel like anyone can be a witch as long as you are attracted to it in some way. It doesn't matter if you have family that was into it or not. If you want to be it, you can. All it takes is studying and practice. So go do more research, and then just keep what resonates with you, practice it. If it doesn't work, try something different until make a note. You want to make a note of everything that you're doing, how long it takes for it to work, Don't have expectations to the outcome. Just trust that spirit team's gonna bring it forth if it's for you, and then just calculate, see how long it takes. Do we have a channel for magic? I think we do. I think she does.
Yeah, it's called
Money
my channel.
jars. We can set them up the same as well. Yes, 100% just use herbs, crystals, and oils that are for money. And then you can obviously do that by researching. It's very easy. You just research herbs for manifesting money, herbs for manifesting love, stuff like that. You're
Crystal, can
welcome.
you hear me? Can you guys hear me in the chat?
Yeah, I'll add some information on there if you guys want where I got all my information from.
Can you guys hear me? No.
Etsy.